Part I, The Foundation, the Speaker's Core. Chapter 1, The Mindset of a Confident Speaker. True confidence in public speaking does not come from the absence of fear, but from a fundamental shift in perspective. This chapter lays the psychological groundwork, transforming your relationship with the audience, your message, and yourself. 11 Reframing nervousness, from stage fright to stage energy. The flutter in your stomach, the racing heart, the heightened awareness, these are not signs of impending failure, they are your body's ancient, primal system preparing for a moment of significance. This section teaches you to acknowledge and welcome, normalize the physiological response, label it as excitement and readiness, not fear. Harness the energy, channel the adrenaline surge into passion, dynamism, and vocal projection. This nervous energy is the fuel for a compelling performance, not its enemy. The 5-second rule, a simple, actionable technique to override the initial panic and commit to stepping forward. 12 The principle of service, speaking to give, not to get. The most powerful antidote to self-consciousness is to shift your focus from yourself to your audience. This principle redefines your purpose, audience centricity. You are not performing for approval, you are serving the audience by sharing an idea, providing value, or offering a new perspective. Eradicating ego, when your goal is to be helpful, the pressure to be perfect vanishes. A stumble becomes human, not a catastrophe. The gift metaphor, frame your speech as a gift you are offering. This mindset fosters generosity and connection, which audiences feel and reciprocate with engagement. 13 Cultivating self-compassion and authenticity. Confidence is not about becoming a flawless orator, it's about becoming a genuine one. This involves permission to be human, accepting that mistakes, verbal stumbles, and moments of imperfection are not just inevitable but are often what make a speaker relatable and trustworthy. Finding your voice, strategies to avoid mimicking other speakers and instead amplify your own unique personality, humor, and style. Authenticity resonates far more than a polished facade. Positive self-talk, replacing the inner critic, they'll think I'm boring, with a supportive coach, I am prepared to share something valuable. 14 The growth mindset, every speech is a data point. Adopt the mindset of an experimenter, not a final exam taker. Embrace a learning orientation, view each speaking opportunity not as a test to be passed or failed, but as an experiment from which to learn what worked, what could be tweaked. Detach from outcomes, your worth is not determined by a standing ovation. Success is defined by having communicated your message clearly and authentically, regardless of the immediate reaction. The iterative process, confidence is built through a series of experiences. This mindset makes you fearless about seeking out opportunities to speak, because each one is simply another step in your long-term development. Chapter 2, The Architecture of a Powerful Speech. A confident delivery is built upon a foundation of solid, thoughtful content. This chapter provides the blueprint for constructing a speech that is not only heard but understood, remembered, and acted upon. It moves from the abstract knowing your audience to the concrete crafting your opening and closing lines. 21 Audience analysis, knowing who you're talking to. Before you write a single word, you must understand the people you are writing for. A speech is a gift, and to choose the right gift, you need to know the recipient. This section covers demographics and psychographics, going beyond job titles and age to understand their values, beliefs, and pre-existing knowledge of your topic. The WIAM principle, what's in it for me, identifying the core needs, desires, and pain points of your audience. Why should they care about your message? How does it benefit them or solve a problem they have? Context is key, analyzing the setting. Is it a formal conference, a casual team meeting, a celebratory toast? The context dictates your tone, formality, and approach. Practical tools, methods for conducting pre-speech research, from simple conversations to surveys, to ensure your content hits the mark. 22 Crafting your core message, the one-sentence takeaway. If your audience remembers only one thing, what should it be? A powerful speech is built around a single, crystalline idea. The power of constraints, forcing yourself to distill your entire talk into one compelling sentence. This becomes your North Star, ensuring every part of your speech supports this central idea. The formula, a practical template for creating your core message. I want my audience to know /feel/do X. The test, using your core message as a filter during the writing process. For every point, story, or statistic, ask, Does this directly support my one-sentence takeaway? If not, it must be cut. 23 Structural models. The scaffolding of your talk. A clear structure is the scaffold that allows your audience to follow your ideas effortlessly. It provides logic, flow, and momentum. This section explores classic, effective models. Problem solution. First, establish a relatable problem or need. Then, present your idea, product, or perspective as the solution. This creates a powerful sense of resolution. Story message. Begin with a compelling, personal, or illustrative story. Then, clearly state the message or lesson that the story demonstrates. This makes your message relatable and memorable. Past, present, future. Describe how things used to be, past, outline the current situation and its challenges, present, and paint a vivid picture of a better future that your idea can help achieve, future. This model is excellent for inspirational and visionary talks. The rule of three, a simple but powerful principle for organizing points within these models. The human mind easily absorbs and remembers information presented in trios. 24 Memorable openings and resonant closings. You have less than a minute to capture attention and a final minute to cement your message. These moments are non-negotiable. The opening, hook, benefit, and roadmap. The hook. Start with a surprising statistic, a provocative question, a short powerful story, or a relatable anecdote. Avoid hello, thank you for having me. The benefit. Quickly state the we of what value the audience will get from listening. The roadmap. Briefly outline the structure of your talk. Today, we'll first look at X, then explore Y, and finally discuss how we can achieve Z. This sets expectations and makes the audience feel secure. The closing. The culmination. Circle back, artfully refer back to your opening hook or story. Reiterate the core message, clearly restate your one-sentence takeaway in a fresh, impactful way. Call to action. CTA. Tell the audience exactly what you want them to do with the information they've received. Make it specific, actionable, and inspiring. The final impression. End with a powerful, closing statement, a quote, a challenge, or a vision, and then stop. Don't fade out with "so yeah, that's it, thanks." Chapter 3, the content crucible. From ideas to impact. A powerful structure is essential, but it must be filled with content that informs, persuades, and resonates. This chapter focuses on the alchemy of transforming raw information into a compelling narrative. You will learn how to build credibility, forge emotional connections, and polish your language for maximum clarity and impact. 31 Research and synthesis. Building a credible case. Your ideas need a foundation of trust. This section moves beyond a simple Google search to teach the art of building an authoritative argument. Depth and breadth. Strategies for finding robust supporting evidence, including academic journals, industry reports, expert interviews, and diverse perspectives to avoid confirmation bias. The synthesis mindset. The goal is not to present a list of facts, but to digest information from multiple sources and synthesize it into your own unique insight or thesis. You are the curator and interpreter of information for your audience. Verification and citation. How to quickly assess the credibility of a source and the importance of verbally attributing key statistics or quotes, e.g., a recent study from Harvard published in, to build immediate trust without needing footnotes. Anticipating counterarguments. A key step in building a credible case is to acknowledge and respectfully address potential objections to your message. This demonstrates thoroughness and fairness, making your overall argument stronger. 32 Storytelling as your primary tool. Data vs drama. Data informs, but stories persuade and are remembered. This section teaches you to wield storytelling as your most powerful weapon for connection. The neurochemical advantage. Why our brains are hardwired to engage with and remember narratives. It triggers the release of oxytocin, building empathy and connection. The data wrap. The technique of embedding statistics within a story instead of listing dry numbers. Introduce a character, e.g., let me tell you about Maria, and use the data to explain the context or stakes of her story. Classic story structures. Practical templates to shape your anecdotes, such as the hero's journey, overcoming a challenge, or the star moment shift, a specific moment that changed everything. Every story should have a clear point that ties directly back to your core message. Personal anecdotes. The strategic use of your own vulnerable, honest, and relevant stories to build authenticity and relatability. The key is to make the story about the audience's learning, not your own ego. 33 Using analogies and metaphors for clarity. Complex ideas become simple and sticky through the use of comparison. This is the art of making the unfamiliar familiar. Analogies explain mechanism. The internet router is like a post office, directing data packets, letters, to the correct IP address, street address. They work by showing how something new functions like something the audience already understands. Metaphors create vivid imagery. This project was a beacon of hope for the team. They describe one thing as being another, to transfer a feeling or essence. Finding effective comparisons, techniques for brainstorming analogies that are relevant to your specific audience's world, e.g. using baking analogies for a cooking show, sports analogies for a team offsite, avoiding mixed metaphors, ensuring your comparisons are consistent and don't create confusing imagery, e.g., we need to get all our ducks in a row to avoid shooting ourselves in the foot. 34 Editing for power, eliminating jargon and clutter. The final, crucial step is to refine your language. Powerful speaking is clear, concise, and direct. The jargon jar mentality, identifying and ruthlessly eliminating industry specific acronyms and terminology that alienate outsiders. Speak human. Killing your darlings, the willingness to cut any sentence, phrase, or slide no matter how clever you think it is if it does not serve the core message or advance the narrative. The read aloud test, the single best editing technique. Reading your speech aloud immediately reveals awkward phrasing, run-on sentences, and sections that are confusing or too dense. Using active voice, strengthening your language by preferring active constructions. The team achieved the goal, over passive ones. The goal was achieved by the team. Active voice is more direct, confident, and easier to understand. Part 2, the performer's toolkit. Voice, body, and space. Chapter 4, the vocal instrument. Your voice is more than a vehicle for words. It is a powerful instrument of emotion, authority, and connection. Mastering its mechanics is what separates a monotonous recitation from a captivating performance. This chapter provides the technical foundation for using your voice with intention, power, and nuance. 41 Breath is power, diaphragmatic breathing for control. The foundation of a strong, supported voice is not in the throat, but in the diaphragm. Shallow, chest-level breathing fuels anxiety and creates a weak, shaky sound. The technique, learning to engage the diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle beneath the lungs, to draw air in deeply, filling the lungs from the bottom up. This is felt as an expansion in the abdomen and lower ribs, not the upper chest. The benefits: diaphragmatic breath provides a steady column of air that supports your tone, prevents vocal strain, allows for controlled phrasing, and acts as an anchor to calm your nervous system. Practical drills, exercises like lying on the floor with a book on your stomach, watching it rise and fall, and hissing exhalations to practice steady, controlled air release. 42 Pace, pitch, and pause, using vocal variety for emphasis. A monotone voice is a coming lullaby. Strategic variation is what creates meaning and keeps an audience engaged. Pace, rate of speech, using changes in speed to create effect. Slowing down emphasizes importance and gravitas. Speeding up can convey excitement, urgency, or humor. The key is variation. Pitch, highs and lows of the voice. Speaking on a constant monotone is draining. Using melodic inflection makes you sound more energetic and passionate. Ending a statement on a downward pitch conveys certainty. Ending on an upward inflection can sound like a question. The power of the pause, the most underutilized tool in speaking. A well-timed pause allows a complex idea to land and be absorbed, creates dramatic tension and anticipation, gives you a moment to breathe and gather your thoughts, makes you appear more confident and in control. 43 Articulation and volume, ensuring clarity and reach. It doesn't matter what you say if no one can understand you or hear you. Articulation, diction, the crisp and clear formation of vowel and consonant sounds. Exercises include over-articulating tongue twisters to strengthen the muscles of the mouth, lips, and tongue. Mumbling or slurring words signals a lack of conviction. Volume, dynamics, using loudness and softness intentionally projecting to the back of the room without shouting, comes from breath support, not throat strain. Conversely, dropping to a quieter volume can draw an audience in and make a point intimately powerful. The goal is dynamic range, not a constant volume. 44 Exercises for vocal strength and stamina. Your voice is a muscle that needs to be warmed up and conditioned, especially before an important speech. The vocal warm-up routine, a sequence of exercises to prepare the instrument, including humming, to gently vibrate the vocal cords, lip trills, motor lips to relax the lips and ease into vocalization, sirens, glides moving smoothly from the lowest to the highest pitch in your range to promote flexibility, articulation drills, repeating phrases like red leather, yellow leather, or unique New York building stamina, techniques for maintaining vocal clarity and power during long presentations or multi-day events, emphasizing hydration, breath support, and avoiding vocal abuses like clearing your throat. Chapter 5, The Language of the Body. While your voice carries the words, your body tells the story. Over half of communication is nonverbal. This chapter focuses on harnessing the power of physical presence to project confidence, reinforce your message, and create a genuine connection with your audience. You will learn to move from being a talking head to a fully embodied, compelling speaker. 51 Posture and presence, commanding the space before you utter a word. Your posture has already spoken. It is the foundation of your stage presence. The power stance, adopting a grounded, balanced stance with feet shoulder width apart. This projects stability, confidence, and readiness. It is the antithesis of a nervous, shifting posture. The upward spine, imagining a string pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. This opens the chest for better breathing, prevents slouching, and conveys alertness and authority. Owning your territory, how to stand in relation to a lectern, using it for notes, not hiding behind it, and how to move purposefully on stage to signal a transition to a new topic, without pacing nervously. The stillness advantage, understanding that controlled, purposeful movement is powerful, but constant, fidgety movement is distracting. Mastering the power of being still and grounded. 52 The purposeful gesture, reinforcing your words. Gestures should be the physical manifestation of your ideas. They amplify your message and make it more engaging and understandable. Matching gesture to content, using open palms to suggest honesty and offering, chopping motions to emphasize a point, or tracing a shape in the air to describe a concept. Gestures should align with the size and emotion of the idea. The gesture zone, keeping gestures primarily within the frame of your torso from your eyes down to your hips. Gestures too low or outside this frame lose energy and visibility. Avoiding contradictions, ensuring your body language matches your verbal message, e.g., not saying "this is a huge opportunity" with a small, closed-off gesture, eliminating pacifiers, identifying and minimizing nervous gestures, fidgeting with hands, jingling change, tapping fingers, that distract from your message and signal anxiety. 53 Eye connection, engaging with individuals, not a crowd. Eye contact is the fastest way to build rapport and make each member of the audience feel seen. It transforms a monologue into a dialogue. The one thought, one person rule. Instead of scanning vaguely, hold eye contact with one individual for a full sentence or complete thought. This creates a moment of personal connection before moving calmly to someone else. Strategic sweeping, ensuring you connect with all sections of the room: left, center, right, front, and back. This makes everyone feel included. The power of the pause with eye contact, delivering a key line while holding someone's gaze, and then pausing. This is incredibly powerful for emphasis and connection. Managing discomfort, techniques for maintaining connection even with neutral or challenging audience members without being thrown off. 54 Managing mannerisms and reading your audience's body language. Self-awareness and audience awareness are two sides of the same coin. A master speaker manages their own nonverbal cues while simultaneously reading the room. Video analysis, the most effective way to identify your own distracting mannerisms, e.g., swaying, repetitive hand gestures, saying is to record yourself and watch it back critically, creating a feedback loop. Learning to read the room by observing audience body language. Are they leaning forward, engaged, or leaning back and checking phones, disengaged? Are arms crossed, possibly defensive or cold, or open and taking notes, receptive? Adapting in real time, using this feedback to adjust your delivery. If you see disengagement, you might ask a question, tell a story, or change your energy level to recapture their attention. The mirror neuron effect, understanding that confident, open body language is not just perceived by the audience, it actually triggers a neurological response in them to feel more connected to and trusting of you. Your physical confidence breeds audience engagement. Chapter 6, Mastering your environment. A masterful speaker doesn't just deliver a message, they command the entire ecosystem in which the communication happens. This chapter moves beyond the individual to focus on the space and tools around you. You will learn to use